It is the 29th day of October 2025 and the month is almost coming to an end. Good afternoon and welcome to Citizen News in Brief, and let's take a look at what's making headlines this afternoon. Now, pockets of protests have rocked Tanzania capital city Dar es Salaam as voting got underway. Youth who poured to the streets lit bonfires protesting against the ongoing elections, saying they are not free and fair. The youth who are chanting anti-government slogans engaged the police in running battles, even as the government assured voters that security has been beefed up to ensure the voting exercise runs uninterrupted. President Samia Suluhu has already cast her vote and called for peace during and after the elections. Police in Transmara South have launched an investigation following the gruesome killing of a grade 9 pupil whose body was found dumped inside a sugarcane plantation after being raped and hacked by unknown assailants. According to the area sub-county police commander Enrico Telewa, the young girl, who has since been identified as Chelangat Shikuku Cynthia of Nkopiriai Primary and Junior School, while on her way to school on Wednesday morning, encountered her death at the hands of unknown criminals. A multi-agency team is out to establish who committed the crime. Chelagata was in full school uniform when she was waylaid. The incident has sparked outrage among members of the community who demand that investigations into the incident be expedited to bring the culprits to book. The body of the minor was taken to Lolgorian Level 4 Hospital mortuary.
Chifu alienda akahakikisha kuna mwili, kutoka hapo akakuja kupika report. Ningeomba wananchi ambao wako na information kama hii ambaye inaweza kuturahisishia kupata wahalifu wafikishie katika kituo cha polisi ambacho kiko karibu.
So uchunguzi ya kwanza nataka tuchunguze wale watu walikuwa wanakata miwa, kwa sababu hao watu walikuwa wanakata miwa upande huo ambayo mambo ilifanyika. So tunataka wenye miwa tafadhali, hiyo kampuni tafadhali, mtuchunguzia watu wenu ambao mumeajiri, mnajua watu wanatoka wapi, wenye wanakata miwa ni ya wapi. Waende laini, kama kuna mtu mmoja ambaye amepotea ni huyo.
Alikuwa anaenda shule ya mzingi ya Ngoberian kufanya mtihani wake. So nikiwa kama naibu wa chief wa area hiyo, ningependa kuomba wakazi wote waweze kushirikiana na serikali kutafuta hawa wajangili waweze kutiwa nguvuni. Ningependa kuomba wananchi watulize na waweke amani.
Elsewhere, a Dutch national known as Elwin ter Horst, captured on camera hurling insults and spitting on police officers at the Diani police station in Kwale County, faces deportation. Elwin had been detained at the station while drunk and was expected to appear in court to face charges of assault, destruction of property, creating disturbance and possession of narcotic drugs. It was also established that he was in Kenya illegally after his visa expired. Elwin, whose arrogant posturing on Tuesday appeared to have dissipated, apologized today, claiming he suffers from a mental condition that made him lose touch with reality, adding that he did not intend to act unlawfully. Msambweni Police Commander Robinson Langat strongly condemned the incident, warning that foreign nationals who violate Kenyan laws will face stern action.
But you know you did something very bad. You're doing that.
I had a side. I call on your help. I want to stay here. I want to live in this country.
I want to inform all visitors visiting Kenya, either on tourist or on any other business, that we don't tolerate such behavior of abusing officers or any other Kenyan. That in addition to immigration laws, our travelers are also obligated to comply with all other applicable Kenyan law.
Na nilikuwa naomba kwamba watu kama hawa endapo wanaingia katika nchi yetu, basi wasipate nafasi ya kwamba kuweza kudharau na kutukana katika njia ambayo ileti heshima na inaonyesha kwamba tunadharauliwa hata tunapokuwa katika nchi yetu.
Matters politics now, and the political parties will have to wait a bit longer to get the allocation of the political parties fund due to the current financial crisis facing the country. According to the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, or RPP, the body has only disbursed funding for the first quarter as the National Treasury delays release of more funds. The delays have seen a section of parties, including the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, protest that this may hurt preparations ahead of the upcoming by-elections.
Every party that qualifies to get funding, I think it is within our practice that we always do that. Of course, we receive the fund just from Treasury like any other organ. And so for as much as the money has been given to us, we actually distributed according to the structure that has been given. I think we already did for the first quarter, and we're still waiting, of course, for the next funding. Of course, I know resources is a big challenge for the parties in terms of how to operate, but it's a challenge that we must face because in order to grow multi-party democracy, it has to cost something to us. So as much.
Now, the head of Public Service, Felix Koskei, has slammed a section of independent commissions under Chapter 15 of the Constitution, accusing them of drawing huge salaries from taxpayers, yet failing to deliver on their mandate to Kenyans. Speaking during the launch of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission 2025 to 2030 strategic plan in Nairobi, Koskei lamented corruption in the public service, which he says is the root cause of underdevelopment and uneconomic impediment across all arms of government. In its strategic plan, SRC seeks to bridge the wage disparities by advocating for fairness and competency across all levels of employment in the public service.
I know it is controversial, but you find 80% of their time is they are reminding people that they are independent. 80%. And they have not even sat and unpacked the constitutional mandate they were given so that they can clearly state to what extent are they independent.
Now, coming home, allow me to recognize.
Now, Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo has assured the country that the government has established robust measures to ensure the ongoing rains across various regions do not disrupt the distribution of national examination papers. Speaking after opening an examination storage container in Starehe Sub-County, Omolo acknowledged that flooding in Tana River County had briefly delayed distribution, but noted the situation was swiftly addressed to avert further setbacks. He further revealed that authorities are closely monitoring social media platforms throughout the examination exercise to clamp down on individuals attempting to circulate fake papers. The Grade 6 KPSEA examinations officially conclude today, while the Grade 9 KJSEA assessments are set to wrap up next Monday.
Where we've had delay in the distribution of examination papers, but again the teams have worked around the clock to ensure that the integrity of the assessment or the examination is not compromised. We have had a few cases of students falling sick or being hospitalized, and again the teams have worked to ensure that they still are able to do the examination. We had a case in Tana River yesterday, which again was resolved. Yeah, so the short rains have just begun, so we can't. We expect that we would still be able to ensure that the exams get to the schools in good time.
Now, still on matters education, the National Assembly Committee on Education has directed the Minister of Education to compile a detailed report on school capitation funds, describing the issue as a pain in the neck for most learning institutions. According to the committee, persistent delays in the disbursement of capitation funds have severely affected the day-to-day running of many schools. Education Cabinet Secretary Migos Ogamba, who was appearing before the committee to discuss the ministry's preparedness of the national examinations, however, say they have released funds to schools that had been verified, adding that 29 secondary schools were not in the ministry's system.
Mausa Secondary School in Loita Ward in Narok South, which since its inception, it has never received capitation, and the school is running an examination. As we sit here, KCSE is going on, and they do not have money, and yet they are supposed to procure examination materials for laboratories and all that. So how does that principal run that school?
We did agree that by last week, or it was the other week, that all schools in this country should have received their share of capitation.
Chair,
and you directed that.
Chair, and they have.
You directed that. But yes, now you are saying about 27.
No, the 29.
Yes.
29 about
yes,
are 29 schools that are not in the system for capitation, that they are going to verify the reason why they are not registered.
But someone is sleeping on the job, yes.
Yes.
Someone is sleeping on the job, especially from those sub-counties.
The schools that were registered for capitation, the resources have been released because those are the resources that were requested for. If the school was not in the system for capitation, they would not have requested for those resources in the budget from Treasury. So when you indicate that I have to tell you and I have to release money to 29 schools, it's not going to be possible.
President William Ruto has promised to facilitate the resettlement of internally displaced persons in Nakuru County, pledging 18 million shillings to help some in Lanet to move to their land. The president, who is on the third day of his tour of the county, has also launched several projects, including the tarmacking of the Kongoni and Dabibi Road in Naivasha constituency and the Kiptangwanyi Market in Gilgil constituency, among others.
Ingo Jumanne akianza na onyo kali kwa majangili anaosema wamezoea kuvuruga.
Now, the government has called for a renewed focus on innovation, technology and market access to drive Africa's agricultural transformation. Speaking during the official opening of the Africa International Agriculture Expo 2025 in Nairobi, the Principal Secretary for Agriculture, Dr. Kiprono Rono, said the expo reflects Africa's growing role as both a potential global breadbasket and a hub of agri-innovation. The four-day expo has brought together more than 150 exhibitors and 10,000 visitors, including more than 100 Chinese firms and research institutions.
This represents a milestone in positioning Kenya as a regional hub for agribusiness and innovation. The event reinforced Kenya's commitment to regional and global agricultural partnership, particularly under the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation and the AU Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program, the so-called the Malabo Declaration Core.
Agriculture remains the backbone of Africa's economy and the foundation of our collective future. Yet, even in our concept paper, it rightly emphasizes the real transformation will come through innovation, market linkages, and strategic partnerships. This expo is designed precisely to drive that transformation by linking farmers to technologies, innovators to investors, and enterprises to global markets.
Let's now revisit our previous story where President William Ruto's promised to facilitate the resettlement of internally displaced persons in Nakuru County, pledging 18 million shillings to help some in Lanet to move to their land. The president, who is on the third day of his tour of the county, has also launched several projects, including the tarmacking of the Kongoni Ndabibi Road in Naivasha constituency and the Kiptangwanyi Market in Gilgil constituency, among others.
Huyu Kikaria akisaidiana na machifu wetu, akisaidiana na county government, huyu Susan yuko hapa na wale wengine wote. Kesho, si mmesema ni kesho? Si mmesema ni kesho? Sasa nimeambiwa hapa iko familia 900 ambao wako na mashamba yao kule Kisima na Donga Farm na Kisima Farm. Ni hivyo? Donga Farm na Kisima Farm. Si ndio? Sasa kesho mujipange. Fungeni virago yenu. Kila Sawa? Sawa? Tumekubaliana? Kwa sababu mumehangaika hapa siku nyingi. Kesho sasa huyu Kigaria, gavana wetu pamoja na DCC wenu, kila familia, kwa hawa familia 900, kila familia nitapatia shilingi 20,000 wa kwenda kuanzisha maisha mahali.
Well, matters sports very quickly, and FKF Premier League champions Police FC have parted ways with its head coach Etienne Ndairagije. According to the statement from the team, they have mutually parted ways owing to the desires of the tactician who wants to advance his career and experience. The Burundian gaffer guided Police to their maiden league title last season, but did not perform well in the CAF Champions League. Well, I'm told we're overrunning, but there is an English League Cup today, round of 16. Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, all will be in action tonight. My name is Wycliffe Orandi. Details of these and more stories on Nipashe at 7 and JK Live at 9. Good afternoon.